All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory and honor and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Kodash, Brakathum. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the icon of four corners, who's pushing his truth and sincerity, love, diligence, respect, fear, and trembling. It's that time I'm coming back with another James for the knowledge of the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, Shai. I pray and hope that this edifies to the hopefully elect. And as you can see, the title, No Future for America. Okay? No future for America. Right? Now, we've been prophesying about the famines and pestilences and martial law, Jacob's trouble, and commotions and things of that nature that is spoken about the Bible. And now we are here. This is 2022. I believe we're in June. Right? So a lot is happening right now. We are in a big case of inflation, soon to be hyperinflation, right? The world as you know, the world that you knew will never be the same again. Okay, we have these shortages, which is this blockchain supply, this supply chain shortage. All your necessities, baby formulas, wheat, food, produce, certain things that keep you stable in the world, throughout your day to day. We have gas prices raising up to the fucking roof. All right, here in Wisconsin, our premium is at $6 now. So there's bad times coming to America. More evil times is coming to America. This is what we have prophesied, beginning with the Apostles' Great Millstone. And now you have basically these high economic people actually telling you that there's going to be hell in America soon enough. And this is all biblical prophecy. And I'm going to go into Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, where it speaks about the keepers of the house shall tremble. Because they are trembling. Because there's no way that you can reboot this system back up. But before I begin with the precepts, and I got maybe like 2 articles, I want to play this video. It's not going to be long. It's from Anonymous Official. And the title is, Watch Within the Next 24 Hours. It was planned all along. And what it's going into is basically these elites, okay, the lower Luciferians, okay, who has ties to the elites. We've been paying attention to the World Economic Forum. We see these high class Edomites who's making these agendas to ultimately make a reset. But before that reset of America, it's gonna be nothing but hell coming. Okay. Before they actually put the squeeze on you people to submit you into getting that charagma, okay, there's going to be a lot of turmoil going on in America. Okay? So you people are finna get beat into submission. So there's no fucking future in America anymore. Okay? And real quick, let me just get this. Listen to what this dude said. All right?
I think that the big process that's happening right now in the world is hacking human beings. The ability to
not him.
To understand.
This dude right here who's speaking right now, I think his name is Noah something. He's the advisor of the CEO. I believe he's the CEO of the World Economic Forum. All right. Klaus Schwab's, or I believe it. Yeah, Klaus Schwab. Okay. This dude Noah, the guy that's talking, him, he's the advisor of Klaus Schwab, which is that bald head weird looking nigga.
Deeply, what's happening within you? What makes you go? And for that, the most important data is not what you read and who you meet and what you buy. It's what's happening inside your body. So we had these 2 big revolutions: the computer science revolution or the infotech revolution.
He's going into the charagma, but I'm not I'm not paying attention to this point. Okay. So
and
I'm
the
gonna let me just
evolutionary
talk.
biological sciences. And they are still separate, but they are about to merge.
History is truly at a turning point. We do not yet know the full extent and the systemic and structural changes which will happen. However, we do know that global energy systems, food systems, and supply chains will be deeply affected.
Ooh, see, let's replay that because there's no more future for America, and these devils are gonna
But
cause.
they are about to merge.
It's gonna cause chaos. Okay. Let's go again.
Is truly at a turning point. We do not yet know the full extent and the systemic and structural changes which will happen. However, we do know that global energy systems, food systems, and supply chains will be deeply affected.
Global food and supply chain will be deeply affected. And this is what we've been experiencing and seeing 2022. Okay? Now, if you was being a watchman, you actually pay attention, okay, and understand that they were bringing this information out back in 2019, 2020, 2021, that there's going to be this new way of living, okay? Everything is going to run out. All right, so it's gonna be inflation. There's gonna be food shortages. Okay, there's gonna be gas prices spiking. So there's gonna be a lot of things that's going on in the world that you people are not gonna be able to handle. Okay, this is the evil days that the scripture was speaking about, and I'm gonna get that in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. Let's get that. Ecclesiastes. Hold on. Okay. Go backwards. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 12 and 1. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. So we're approaching evil days. Okay, we're approaching hard times. So the scriptures tell us to come, remember thou thy creator in the days of thy youth. Right? Meaning come into this truth when you can. Okay? Come into this truth when you can as a young man, when you hear this. All right? Before the evil days come not. So you want to get the wisdom and knowledge, like the scripture says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. So you will want to get that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding before the evil day comes. So you can be stable and understand what's taking place. Because a lot of these people in the world, they don't know what's finna actually go down, man. They're finna get caught up as a thief in the night. This is Isaiah. Ain't that a bitch? All right, give me 1 second. I get it. What was I quoting? Isaiah 33 and 6. Let's get that. This is Isaiah 33 and 6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is his treasure. Okay, so the understanding on the times that we're approaching, I should say, we're gonna need the Bible, the scriptures, to help us go through what's finna take place. Because we're going to know, hey, it was prophesied that a famine was going to happen. It was prophesied that many, what does the scripture say? The love of many shall wax cold, right? So if we know that there's a famine coming, we know that the precept of the lovers of many shall wax cold. We know that these people's minds is finna gear into this this mindset where they're not gonna give a fuck about their neighbor. They're not gonna give a care about their mother, their father, their sister, their brother. All right, because the evil days is coming. So if the evil days is coming, your mentality is gonna go straight to surviving. Your mentality is going to be, fuck the next man. I'm going to do what I can to survive. So if I got to kill, rob, steal, do whatever, that's what I'm going to do. Okay? That's what's about to take place in this place. All right? It says, let me go back. Let me go back to Ecclesiastes, which I was reading in the scripture. I might as well just keep it in here. Ecclesiastes 12. So it says, remember now thy the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened. That's talking about the wisdom. That's talking about the prophets on the highways and hedges, right? Giving you, Proverbs says, wisdom crieth out. She uttereth her voice in the street. Okay? But soon enough, what's finna happen is a famine of the word, because it's finna get really hectic out there. Okay? So the Lord is going to withdraw his prophets. Right? So nor clouds return after the rain. Right? So while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Right? It says, in the day when the keepers of the house tremble. Who's the keepers of the house? Your world economic people, the people that deals with the monetary, right? Those people, those stockbrokers and stock traders and things like that, those people are trembling. Why? Because they're looking into the database, the data system, and they're seeing that there's no way that America can go back to the way it used to be. You see? We're going into a point of what is called a stagnation. Okay? A worldwide, well, beginning with America, okay? Well, actually, technically, a lot of the other nations have been already experiencing inflation and stagnation, which is economic, a slow decline in the economic growth, with high unemployment, with high rising prices, man. Okay? So it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. You got your Jerusalentes, your economic people, the ones who know about the money system, who pays attention to the monetary, the GDP. Okay? So, it says, in that day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, because they know that it won't be, they won't, nothing, no matter how many quantitative easings you put in the system, okay, it's not going to reboot America to get back on its feet again. Don't forget that America is, what, 17 trillion in debt right now? I don't think it's 17. I may be wrong on that. But it's something trillion in debt at the moment. You see? So the keepers of the house, they're trembling. Like there's nothing that we can do. Now they thought about, now remember when the pandemic hit, right? What did they do to fuck things up even worse? They gave everybody those stimulus packages. Those stimulus packages pumping that money into this into the community, okay? Just like they did with the quantitative easings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 within the last goddamn 12 years, it didn't do nothing but devalue the dollar. So within return, there's not going to be a future in America because inflation is going to happen. Okay? You caused this high rocket sky of inflation. Let me get this real quick. This article. I got a couple of articles that I just want to, read off and whatnot. In fact, before I read Stagflation, this is from the AmericanProphet.org, right? Now this is 2021 article speaking about what 2022 is going to be like. It says when it comes to 2022, you should definitely prepare for the worst. Okay? It says if you have had a bad feeling about 2022, you are not alone. This is the ending of 2021. Okay? As we approach the new year, it seems like things are going wrong all around us. We are facing the most epic supply chain crisis in our history. Inflation is out of control. The VACA mandates are killing careers and forcing people out of jobs all over the country. And America is the most deeply divided that I have ever seen in my entire life. Let me get a precept on that. Okay, so they're going into inflation is out of control. The supply chain crisis. Okay? And then they go into on how America is divided, right? So this proves the end. Let's get a precept. Okay? Let's get a precept to that. Then on how America is divided. Satan house. This proves that the Bible is speaking, man. The Bible is manifesting. All right, they tripping, Joe. They really tripping. Only one way to spell Satan. That's what Blue Letter been actually doing some fuck shit. House divided. I should just probably put that in. Okay, here we go. This is Luke 11:17. It says, but he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. Okay? It's plain as day. I get the rest of the precepts to the same topic. Matthew 12:25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So that article said, let's go back to that article. It said, and America is the most deeply divided that I have ever seen in my entire life. Meanwhile, another wave of the pandemic appears to be building our hospitals. Okay? It says meanwhile, another wave of the pandemic appears to be building. Our hospitals are already packed with non-coronas patients. Global hunger is on the rise, a famine. And major war could erupt in the Middle East at literally any moment. Unfortunately, I am entirely convinced that many of the problems that we are currently dealing with will escalate to an entirely new level in 2022. For example, if you think that inflation is bad now, just wait until you see what is coming. We just got more evidence that the wholesale inflation numbers are absolutely soaring. See, these are the keepers of the house trembling right now, because they're seeing that there's no way that America can be rebooted again. Because, hey, within the crisis of the pandemic, the coronas, that knocked out the middle class. A lot of houses closing, businesses closing. Okay, and this is all prophecy. Let's get Zephaniah. Okay, because the same thing that happened in the ancient world is the same thing that is gonna happen now today with America. Okay. Let me think. Bible. Okay. This is come on, man. Salakia. Let's not don't forget about the grid, you know. But they've been speaking about the grid being shut off. All right, they really on some real fuck shit. Okay, this is Zephaniah 1 and 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, okay? And an howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. So when you go into the history of it, well, you know what, let me read down. How ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all that bear silver are cut off. So basically, going into this is that now Mektesh was a merchant city, okay, which was a lot of trading, export, import. That's what the fish gate was about, okay. And back in the ancient world, a famine, a dearth, okay, began to happen in a lot of these places and businesses and whatever businesses, storehouses, so on and so forth, begin to close down, begin to decline. And that's what's happening here in America. How the inhabitants of Mektesh is a merchant city, right? For all the merchant people are cut down, all that bear silver are cut off. Why? Because the money is devaluing. You see? The money is going down. So there's going to be a real big problem when it comes to the monetary. And when you think about the statue, right? Man, I'm thinking about it. When you think about the statue, right, that's in Daniel, it speaks about the gold, the brass, the silver, you know what I'm saying? And then it goes down to the 10 toes and the clay and half weak and half strong. When you really think about the empires from the Assyrian Empire, the Babylonian Empire, all the way until now, the money began to devalue. You see, you had a gold, which is the top. Then you go down to silver and brass and so on and so forth. And now we're in the midst of the 10 toes and the clay, which is a system that is failing monetarily. See, this place is failing monetarily. The money is going down. Okay, and this is the reason why you have inflation. Okay, so this is just another precept, right, on the keepers of the house is trembling, because there's no way that they can reboot the system. In fact, let's get that out of Jeremiah real quick. Jeremiah 51. This is Jeremiah 51. I'm going to get to the point in 9. You know what? 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. So the balm is representing a healing ointment. Take balm for her pain. So basically, let's heal Babylon up again. You know, your quantitative easings didn't do it. Okay? So now that you now you was giving out stimmies, now that right there definitely brought this place down low. Okay? Because during the pandemic, businesses was getting shut down. Okay? So that's another indication on bringing this place is being brought low. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. See? Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reaches into heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. So what's happening, there's no other nations, them other nations that came here to make money with America, they're going back to their homeland. Why? Because the money ain't shit here anymore. You know? So they're going to their own country. You know? It's that's it on that. You know, let me grab this. Let me read this. Okay, I read a little bit of that article. I ain't gonna read it all. Let's go to something else. Let's go to What's this one? Okay, let's go to this one right here. It says everything is running out of. I'm sorry. America is running out of everything. Global supply chain is slowing down at the very moment when Americans are demanding that it go into overdrive. It says, is it me or does it feel like America is running out of everything? I visited CVS last week to pick up some at-home corona tests. They've been sold out for a week. An employee told me, so I asked about paper towels. We're out of those too. He said, try Walgreens. I drove to a Walgreens that had paper towels, but when I asked the pharmacist to fill some very common prescriptions, he told me the store had run out. Try the Target up the road. He suggested Target's pharmacy had the meds, but its front area was alarmingly barren. Like the canned food section of the grocery store, 1 hour before a hurricane makes landfall. So there's no food, there's no canned goods in the store. Now this person is speaking about going to different stores, finding out that there's nothing in the stores that this person needed. It says this is the economy now. 1 hour errands are now multi-hour odysseys. Right, because you got to go to this store or that store. If it ain't at this store, you got to try this store. If it ain't at that store, you got to try that store. Okay? This is the economy now. 1 hour errands are now multi-hour odysseys. Next day deliveries are becoming day after next deliveries. The car part you need, it'll take an extra week. Sorry. The book you were looking for, come back in November. The baby crib you bought, make it December. Eyeing a new home improvement job that requires several construction workers, pray for 2022. Yeah, because there's we're at a high time of unemployment rate too. Right? That's what stagnation is about. It's when the economy is on a very, very high level of declining, with prices rising. Okay? It says the U.S. economy isn't yet experiencing a downturn akin to the 1970s period of stagflation. This is something different and quite strange. Americans are settling into a new phase of the pandemic economy in which the GDP is growing, but we're also suffering from a dearth of a shocking array of things. So a famine of things. Test kits, car parts, semiconductors, ships, shipping containers, workers. This is the everything shortage. The everything shortage is not the result of one big bottleneck in, says Vietnamese factories, or the American trucking industry. We are running low on supplies of all kinds due to a veritable hydra bottlenecks. Okay? So the point is, we are in an everything shortage. Okay? Everything shortage. So your daily necessities that you want, you may have to fight over those. You may have to fight over that. Okay? We are in the what is it? The scripture speaks about the days of doom. Right? We are in the these are the beginning of sorrows. Matthew the 24th chapter speaks about the wars, rumors of wars, and kingdoms against kingdom, nation against nation, of war, pestilence. These are the beginnings of sorrows. Okay? So when a lot of stuff begin to get taken away out of the storehouses, okay, what are you gonna do? See, the wisdom and knowledge is still gonna keep the elect, the men of the Lord, and women and their children and households or whatever saved. We're gonna be good. But what are you people gonna do? What are y'all gonna do? The men of the Lord been out here on the highways and hedges, day in and day out, week in and week out. Okay, it's a Monday and brothers is uploading videos. Tuesday, videos uploaded. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If brothers go out Saturday, they're going to go prophesy Saturday. Or if they go out Sunday, they're going to prophesy Sunday or Friday or whatever day. But these videos and the information is constantly being put in you people's faces on the fucking day-to-day basis. So we are at the evil days. What the fuck are you going to do? You know? It's a, in fact, you know, let me read this precept real quick, then I'm gonna go back to that. Let's go back to Ecclesiastes 12. It's Ecclesiastes 12 and 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, which is your economics, your economists people. Okay, ultimately, the keepers of the house is these elites. Okay, but the keepers of the house, those that's managing America, okay, those are the ones that's trembling because they're seeing that this data, you know, you know, when they print out their sheet, they get the receipt, they get the data. This is that. They're seeing that, hey, America is finna crumble. You know? And the strong men shall bow themselves. Yeah. Your governors, your politicians, you know, all these people that speaking all this high-minded, there's going to be Build Back Better and Make America Great Again and all this other bullshit. They're going to bow themselves, man. You know? And the grinders cease because they are few, which is what? What is a grinder? A grinder is a worker. The grinding cease because there are few. We're in a high point of unemployment, man. You got to think about it. We just came, we're still in a pandemic or a crisis, right? So you got people that's saying, fuck going to them jobs, man. We're not finna go work in this condition. So you got a lot of people staying home, trying to work from home, you know? Ain't nobody going to these companies, these factories, you know? So you had a high unemployment rate. You know? It says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Those that look out the windows be darkened, meaning there ain't no future for America. There's nothing coming to Babylon. Okay? Those that look up out of the window, when you look in the window, you're looking at something. You're looking at the future or a vision. Ain't no fucking future or vision in America anymore, man. Them days is long overdue. Them days has passed. All right? How long will you simple ones will you love simplicity? Because you had the men of the Lord, the prophets, telling you these things before they came about. Telling you it's finna get ugly. Okay? In fact, what is that? Second Ezra's. It's 2 in Second Ezra that I'm thinking about. Let me go to 7 real quick. Second Ezra 7 and 43. Yeah, 7 and 43. It says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time. See, the day of doom. All right, what is doom? Let me look up that word doom. What does the word doom mean? The day of doom. It says doom. A law, statute, a decree, administration of justice, judgment, justice, equity, righteousness, dumas, judgment, to set, place, okay, here we go. It says to judge, pass judgment on, from doom, demand, meaning condemn, punishment. Okay? So basically doom means punishment, judgment. Okay, so let's go back to that precept. Doom means judgment, right? Or punishment. But the day of doom or the day of judgment or the day of punishment shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of immortality for it to come, wherein corruption is past. Okay? So to get to the incorruptible, okay, we got to get through this day of doom first. The day of doom is going to be the end. All right? Before we get the immortality, you know? So we're going to have to go through this hell. We're going to have to go through these hard times, these straits that's approaching. Hell, we prophesied about them. Right? So you people out there, you niggas, you those that scoffed and talk shit, the day of doom is coming to you. Oh, you know what? That's what I was thinking of. 2 Ezra 5 and 20. No, not 5 and 20. 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. That's the day of doom, because you people have walked in great pride, man. Okay, and what did that precept say? It said at the end, it said, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. So there's no hope for America. There's no future for America anymore. Okay, you see what's this generated this generated crisis. You got famine. You got threats and warnings about the grid shutting down. You know, no food in the storehouses, no baby formula, no wheat, no produce. A lot of fish and things is getting recalled. So we're here at that great point that we've been prophesying about. We're here where the scripture says some men count slackness. See, they didn't believe that this was going to happen, so they doubted and they walked off and left the truth. But now we're here and we're seeing that the day of doom, or the or what it said, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. So we can see that there's no future for America. Okay? There's no future for this place. Okay? Because this is the end of it. All right? I want to get one last scripture. Oh, you know what? In fact, before I get that scripture, which is us, 2 Ezra 15. I know it is. I know what it is. I want to read about stagflation. It says, what is stagflation? Definition, causes, and effects. Rising inflation, unemployment, and supply shocks create a combustible mix known as stagflation. It says stagflation is a word feared by most central banks. This term refers to a toxic combination of rising employment and negative gross development product, domestic product, which is your GDP. See, it says this term refers to a toxic combination of rising unemployment and negative GDP, which creates economic stagnation. In that other little article I read, they said that the GDP is growing, which is not. Okay. It says and unlike what happens in a recession where businesses fold, that's the fish gate, that's the how ye Mactesh, where businesses fold, manufacturing output declines and demand, and thus manufacturing output declines and demand, and thus prices fall. Stagflatory environments also come with increased prices and high levels of inflation, creating an especially difficult problem to solve. And that's what America is going through. Okay? America's going through reducing on products, reducing on resources. There's no jobs to make ends meet. Okay? So this is what we're facing. While central banks have some tools at their disposal to combat stagflation, or better still, to prevent their economy from becoming mired in altogether, there are some stocks that outperform even through such harsh conditions. Real quick, it says, how does stagflation occur? What happens to the economy? The phrase stagflation is a creative mix of stagnation and inflation. First uttered by British politicians Ian Maitland in the 1960s. Students of economic theory had long thought this occurrence improbable, mainly because unemployment and inflation tend to move inversely. When unemployment is high, prices usually decline because demand lessens and vice versa. That's not happening in this case. It says, stagflation occurred in the United States in the 1970s as a result of rising unemployment, slow economic growth. And that's where we're at right now. Okay? And an oil crisis. In fact, it could be said that much of the 1970s and the 1980s were a time of recession. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna read. You can easily get up on stagflation. Okay? Hey, it says, what are the effects of stagflation? No one should be surprised to hear that the living through stagflation is a pretty miserable experience. I just read 2 Ezra 8 and 50. Many woe unto you. What did it say? It says, this is 2 Ezra 8 and 50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that dwell in the latter time shall dwell. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. So what does it say about stagnation? No one should be surprised to hear that living through stagflation is a pretty miserable experience. In fact, economics, the keepers of the house, even created the misery index as a way to measure the level of distress an average person feels economically. This rate is calculated by adding the seasonal adjusted employment rate to the inflation rate. The highest misery index ever measured was during Ronald Reagan's first term. We know what that was about. Okay? So these people are about to be miserable as shit. These people are about to be losing their minds. They're not gonna turn to Yahweh Shemel Shai, and this is a way for them to go down to Egypt for help. And at the end of this, the end goal of this generated crisis is to get the MOTB. Okay, that's the end all be all. Is to get the mark of the beast. Okay, that's what's gonna give you the access to the things that you need. Okay. So, Lord will I hope this is edifying to the hopeful elect. I hope that I didn't, butcher the lesson and talk too much. You know what I'm saying? But Lord willing, this is edifying. No future in America. Okay? The windows has been darkened. Okay? And with that, I give all glory and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Hakadash Bakathum. Them on this my apostle, great millstone. Salutations to Akron, the four corners, pushing his truth and sincerity, love, diligence, respect, fear, and trembling. Baba Ball. Shalom.